Well, it's down to the wire. We are in the final stretch to Election Day. Joining me now to discuss Ford O'Connell, Matt Connolly, and Adam Goodman. Matt, let me start with you. You're in the state that will obviously play a major role in determining the next commander-in-chief. Pennsylvania, maybe a couple of weeks ago, thought to be out of reach, certainly now within striking distance. How do you see it playing out?
I see Pennsylvania very much in play. I would predict, honestly, that he is going to win Pennsylvania by 3 points, and I'll tell you why. He's hitting a nerve with immigration, with jobs, especially from the energy sector, and he is going to take care of the vets. We've got a lot of vets who are very unhappy with the VA, and I think Trump is just, he's packing the houses. And we got to understand that this kind of energy is not for Hillary. And let's also not forget one thing. There's a transit strike in Philadelphia right now, and it's going to go through Tuesday. That could really affect poll workers.
You know, I know that's a sort of a wild card, but what about the experts who are saying that it's these, the white women in Philadelphia, suburban Philadelphia, where Donald Trump cannot catch up? We know that Melania gave a speech, perhaps targeting that group earlier in the week. Do you dismiss that completely?
Don't dismiss it completely. They are a tougher sell because they're a little more choosy when it comes to their candidate. But in the end, you know, it's funny, Hillary's numbers go up when she is not in the spotlight. When she's in the spotlight like she is now, which for the worst possible reasons, for dishonesty issues and her lack of transparency, they're going to shake their heads and say, you know what, this is what a Clinton presidency looks like. We've seen it before. We don't like it. I'm going to go with Trump. I'm going to hold my nose. He's going to win.
All right, Ford, this is the mad dash. This is what we've all been waiting for. How do you see it playing out?
Well, you have to understand that, first of all, Trump has to win Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio, and at that point he only has 253 electoral votes, and he has to go shopping for 17 more. If he wins the Keystone State, and trust me, if he does, he's going to have to thread that needle tighter than a Ben Roethlisberger pass. He will become the 45th president of the United States. I don't like his chances in Pennsylvania because there's 900,000 more Democrats than there are Republicans, and there's only 1.2 million independents. So that's a very narrow needle to thread. I like his chances in New Hampshire because Republicans outnumber Democrats, and a third of the voting electorate is actually independent. I like New Hampshire, Iowa, Nevada, or Colorado, and Maine, too, and that gives you 270 electoral votes, my friend, and that makes Donald Trump the 45th president of the United States.
So, Adam, Donald Trump hit Florida, North Carolina, Nevada, Colorado today. I think he might swing by Minnesota and Virginia tomorrow. Is that the right strategy? Minnesota and Virginia, those are two states you think he should be focused on 2 days from the election, or should he follow the Ford O'Connell map?
Well, I'm going to give one to Ford here. I agree with Ford. And can I offer you just a perspective from Florida, since this always seems to be described as ground zero? Adam Shapiro did a tremendous analysis earlier in the show. The one number he didn't mention, right now in the early voting and absentees, there's a 7,300 vote margin by Democrats. 4 years ago, it was 177,000 edge for Democrats on Election Day. And that was an election 4 years ago that Mitt Romney lost by only 74,000 votes to President Obama. If you look at the numbers here in Florida, the numbers and under the numbers are looking very, very positive for Donald Trump, and I can feel it on the ground here in Tampa Bay. He was here earlier. It's hard to generate momentum and enthusiasm that doesn't exist. It's much easier to channel something that I think has become a movement into votes.
What about
I think that's what you're going to see.
What about Nevada, guys? It's you know, I'm hearing things out of Nevada that over 70% of people have already early voted. That Clark County has been just a grand slam for the Democrats, even that county with Reno in it. Are you concerned? Because the way I look at the map, I think he's got to win Nevada, Ford.
I absolutely agree with you. I'm concerned about the SEIU busing people not only in Clark County, but also in Washoe County, where Reno is, to the polls. That could make the difference, the turnout in the Clinton machine. I also like potentially Colorado to keep a lifeline open, or Michigan. But in those cases, black vote has to take a serious nosedive, just like Pennsylvania.
We got to leave it there. Love your perspective. Great show. And, of course, keep it right here on Fox Business all weekend long for